Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Cajun Country Jimbo. Well, you can look around and tell that all of my good time having fun, running, fishing, doing all the things that I've been doing, I've been getting behind on my homestead detail around here. Now you can look behind me here and see what I'm talking about. All of these fields are overgrown, and most of that is due because we've had a lot of rain through this early summer. This grass grows up really tall and it gets full of weeds, and most of the time that's not an issue because we've already cut hay for the first time in these pastures. Now we cut hay in these pastures for the first cutting of the year. Most of the time it's just thinner hay and it's got a lot of weeds in it, so that's usually the first thing that's fed and got out of the way. Now the next cutting, that all those spring weeds are gone, it's full of lush green grass that makes really, really good hay. Well, this year we just was not able to cut it because of all the wet conditions. And really, in all fairness, this is the first opportunity that it has been dry enough to cut it. Now this weekend coming up is the 4th of July weekend, and I have some good fun times planned that I want to go to attend, but if I'm gonna be able to relax and enjoy myself, I at least have to get some of this stuff done, because that'll be weighing in on the back of my mind. Hey Jimbo, you finally got some dry weather, you let these pastures get out of hand, and then you're up here having a good time, kick back, relaxing, when you should have been taking care of the things you're supposed to have been taking care of. So y'all come go with me this morning so we can get some of this stuff done so I can go have some fun for the 4th of July. I want to bring y'all along with me. Now, by the time you see this, Independence Day is probably going to done come and gone, but hey, that's okay. We can all reflect and enjoy it together. Y'all, just look at this. Look how tall some of this grass is. I mean, I'm almost 6'1", and look, that is 10 inches taller than I am. And that's just grass. It'll never cease to amaze me how just the grass in this warm, wet climate down here, how tall and how well it actually grows. I mean, yeah, it's pretty, but one of the things that happens when the grass gets real tall and thick like this is you have a lot of predators. They can hide easy, they can come in close like coyotes and things like that. So if you have chickens, if you have livestock, they're able to get really close and they can pick off a chicken and you'd never even know it happened till it was too late. Another thing is the rodents. All these field rats, they'll get up here, and if you have any feed stored anywhere, it's easy for them to run in and demolish a whole pile of feed, and then you have rat droppings. You end up having to throw a lot of feed away. They just cause a mess and really just cause a lot of havoc. So I think I'm gonna run over to the big hay barn. I'm gonna grab Papa Smurf and a big bat wing, and I'm gonna come over here and start laying some of this stuff down. You know, one thing that is always a struggle for me is eating a decent meal. When I'm out here filming, wrenching on projects, or working all day around the homestead, it is way too easy to end up grabbing junk food or whatever leftovers I can find that is questionable at best. That's one reason I've really been enjoying these factor meals. They show up ready to eat, they're fresh, and in just a couple of minutes, you've got a hot meal without having to stop everything and cook. Honestly, it saves me a lot of time. And not to mention, I feel a whole lot better than whenever I run grab something from the gas station. Now, I've tried several of these meals so far, and it is hard to beat having something this convenient that actually tastes homemade. All you gotta do, pop a couple holes in it, throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Head on over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code CajunFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for a year. That's code CajunFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. CajunFB50 at factor75.com. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Now I'm gonna finish eating and get back out there and get these pastures cut. You know, I ain't really in a hurry today. I'm just kind of in a hurry because I have fun plans. You know, I just got stuff that I really want to do. I really want to get this work done, but at the same time, I kind of wish it was already done so I could go ahead and be loading up to get to doing what I want to do. But the thing about tending to a lot of land, owning equipment, running equipment, you have to do the maintenance, because if you don't do the maintenance, you're not going to keep your equipment long. Now, I don't care what you own, you got to keep the oil checked, you got to keep the oil changed, you got to keep everything greased, you got to make sure everything is in good working order. Now, as of right now, the machine, everything has been greased, everything's been checked. We're all good to go on that. But as bad as I'm wanting to get out here and get started, I just can't, in good faith, get out there and do it with the shape that these blades are in. I know it's kind of hard to tell on the screen, but man, these blades are in bad, bad shape. I mean, look at them. Look like they've been mowing a gravel road. Now that kind of falls back in that whole maintenance thing, you know, making sure everything's in good shape and top-notch condition. Now, could I go out there and cut some grass with this bush hog? Absolutely I could, but it's gonna put a lot of extra load on the tractor. It's gonna put a whole lot of extra load on this equipment, and the cut is not gonna be as good. A lot of the thicker stuff, it's actually gonna lay over, and then when it cuts it, it's gonna stand back up, so you're gonna have tall spots and short spots, and tall spots and short spots, rinse and repeat. Now, I am a believer in, if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing right, and this is no exception. If you want this stuff to last, you gotta do it. If you want the grass to look good after you get it cut, you gotta do the maintenance, so that's what I'm gonna do. And it really doesn't take that long. It's just kind of inconvenient, because it always seems like that's the time when you have to do these things, is when you're kind of in a hurry and you have plans. But hey, it is what it is, so I'm gonna get a 4-inch grinder, I'm gonna get a sanding pad, tiger disc, whatever you wanna call it, and I'm gonna hit these blades a lick, get them sharpened back up. And hey, that is a hack if you just heard what I said. Anytime you're on this equipment, even lawnmower blades, what I have found over the years is if you use one of these sanding pads rather than a regular grinding disc whenever you're sharpening these blades, it doesn't get as hot. It doesn't change the edge of the temper of that blade, because as long as you don't stay in one spot and build up a lot of heat, it'll shine these blades right back up like a ninja sword, and it won't be susceptible to chipping and breaking off like they normally would if you'd have ground it down with a regular grinding disc, generated a lot of heat, and changed the temper in the edge of that blade. So, that's another thing. Trying to get a little longevity out of these blades, I'm gonna do it right and get laying some of these fields down. You know, there's just something satisfying about a day that starts with hard work. Standing out in these fields, watching the tractor doing its thing, hearing the mower behind me, it's a reminder that nothing worth having comes easy. Taking care of my homestead isn't always glamorous, but every hour you put in is another step towards building something you can be proud of. By the time the work was done, it felt good to go wash the dust off and head to the lake. And honestly, I can't think of a better way to celebrate the 4th of July. Days like this remind me that freedom isn't something we talk about once a year. It's being able to wake up each morning and choose the life we want to live. It's having the opportunity to work hard, spend time with the people you love, and make memories you'll carry with you long after the holiday is over. Watching the boats on the water, seeing the American flags waving in the breeze, hearing the kids laugh, and families enjoying time together. It makes you realize how blessed we truly are. Sometimes life gets busy, and it's easy to forget to slow down and appreciate moments like these. But these are the days that matter. Not because everything's perfect, because they're shared with the people who make life meaningful. As the sun starts to settle and another Independence Day comes to an end, I can't help but feel grateful. Grateful for this country, grateful for the freedom that so many have sacrificed to protect, and grateful for everyone who chooses to spend a little piece of their day right here with me. I hope this 4th of July gave you a chance to slow down, make a few memories, and spend time with the people who matter the most. Because at the end of the day, those moments are what life is really all about. Happy Independence Day, Cajun family. And I'll be seeing you real soon.
American girls and American guys will always stand up and salute. We'll always recognize when we see your glory flying. There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our heads. My daddy served in the army, where he lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my mother, my brother, my sister and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. Soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Oh, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Oh, justice will be served and the battle will rage. This big dog will fight when you rattle his cage. And you'll be sorry that you messed with the U.S. of A. 'Cause we'll put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue.